The truth is, the moment I walked into that Team USA gym, I already knew what everyone was thinking about me. Nobody had to say it out loud. I had heard it for months. I wasn't ready. I didn't belong. I wasn't chosen when it mattered most. The Olympic roster came out, and my name wasn't on it. That moment stayed with me, not because it broke me, but because it showed me exactly where I stood, or at least where people thought I stood. So when I stepped onto that floor for my Team USA debut, I wasn't there to prove them wrong with words. I was there to let the game speak for me.
For months, the basketball world has been arguing about one question. Is Caitlin Clark actually ready for Team USA? The debate has been everywhere. Studio shows, podcasts, social media. Some analysts insist Clark still needs time to adjust to the professional game. They say the speed is different, the defenses are stronger, the physicality is tougher. Others see something completely different.
A lot of people think nothing of this, but look, Caitlin is so careful with her image. At the time when everyone was calling her a scab for no reason, there was nothing really happening with Caitlin. She wasn't really posting anything. But now, the Indiana Fever are going pretty much all in with Caitlin Clark stuff. And in this workout, 22 of 25 beyond the arc. Can't lie. That is a really, really good showing from her.
They see a player who bends defenses in ways most teams still don't understand. A player whose shooting range stretches the floor so far that defensive systems start to break. But arguments only go so far. At some point, basketball conversations have to move from theory to evidence. And that moment might finally be arriving. Because soon, Clark will step onto the court in an environment connected to the USA women's national basketball team.
So, as of right now, the WNBA is still going through what they're going through. But some news came out today that lifted my spirits from here to the damn ceiling. That is because Team USA basketball is on the way. And guess who made the team to qualify? Our good home girl, Caitlin Clark.
And when that happens, the debate changes. Suddenly, it isn't about opinions anymore. It becomes about performance. If Clark controls the pace of the game, stretches the defense, and creates the same chaos she's created everywhere else, the not ready narrative starts to look very different. But if she struggles against elite competition, critics will feel validated. That's why the next game matters so much. It's not just another appearance. It's a moment where months of debate collide with real basketball. And when that happens, the conversation around Clark could change very quickly. But there's another reason the tension around this game feels so intense. Because the narrative surrounding Clark hasn't stayed the same. In fact, if you listen closely to the media right now, the tone is already starting to shift.
She is coming back. Her, Paige Beckers, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, Darica Hamby, Ryan Howard, Kiki Efron, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Jackie Young, all of them will be on one team. Now, what's surprising me is that Asia Wilson's not on this team. You know, she's not there. But if she's supposed to be the Kobe, the Michael Jordan of the women's basketball, why the hell she ain't on this team? Just saying. Y'all say she the best, right? Why she ain't on here? But that's neither here or there, because Caitlin Clark is definitely on this damn team, man.
For most of the past year, the message around Caitlin Clark was incredibly consistent. She wasn't ready yet. That phrase showed up everywhere. Not ready for the physicality, not ready for the speed, not ready for the international stage.
So what woman is more popular?
If you wanna go from a marketing perspective, sure, Caitlin is extremely marketable. However, I just want to pitch this to everyone. Imagine Caitlin joining this team and spending time on the bench. What is the conversation going to be about the entire time the Olympics is going on? Why isn't Caitlin getting more minutes? Why isn't Caitlin playing? I'm sure people will tune in, but what will the conversation be then? I think it's really interesting. Head coach Christy Sides for the Indiana Fever said that a monster was woken up in Caitlin Clark, and I think that is wonderful. I think motivation for Caitlin is wonderful. I'm gonna say this, a monster has been woken in all of the women that were selected for the Olympic team also, because the conversation is again centered around Caitlin Clark.
But something interesting has started happening recently. the language is changing. You don't hear "not ready" as often anymore. Instead, analysts are saying things like, "She's adjusting quickly." You can see how special the talent is. She might be ahead of schedule. At first, those comments might sound harmless, but they actually represent a massive shift because narratives in sports rarely disappear overnight. They evolve slowly. When analysts sense that the evidence is moving in a different direction, the tone starts to soften. Criticism becomes caution, certainty becomes possibility. And suddenly the same player who was once described as a long-term project starts to look like someone who might accelerate the timeline. That's exactly what appears to be happening right now. The basketball world is preparing itself for a potential outcome, because if Clark steps into the next major stage and performs the way many fans believe she can, the old narrative becomes impossible to maintain. And that stage is approaching quickly. But the media narrative isn't the only part of this story that still hasn't settled. There's another argument that refuses to disappear, the one that started the biggest controversy surrounding Clark in the first place: the Olympic debate. When Team USA announced its Olympic roster, many people expected the conversation to end. The decision had been made, the roster was set, the debate should have been finished. But it wasn't. Instead, the argument surrounding Caitlin Clark only grew louder. Supporters believed the omission made no sense. They saw the most talked about player in basketball left off the biggest international stage. Critics argued the opposite. They said Olympic teams rely on experience. Chemistry matters. Veterans understand the pressure of international tournaments. Both arguments sounded reasonable.
Because you have to imagine we're asking her why she wasn't put on the team. We would probably go to her and say, why was Caitlin put on the team? And if they felt like their only answer was going to be based on marketing, or their best answer or their best reason was based on marketing, not experience, not chemistry with the team, not knowledge of international basketball, not feeling fresh, because there's no way she feels fresh. She's been playing basketball since November with one of the highest usage rates we've ever seen, and her usage is the exact same for the Indiana Fever. So you have to think about when Jim Rosati, if she were to answer that question about Caitlin making the team, what was her answer going to be? It wasn't going to have any grounding in her being able to contribute in chasing gold versus the other players.
But something unexpected happened after the roster announcement. The conversation refused to fade. Every time Clark performed well, the debate resurfaced. Every highlight reignited the discussion. Every strong performance raised the same question again. What would she look like in that environment? That's why the upcoming stretch of games feels so important, because it offers something the debate has been missing: evidence. If Clark thrives in high-level competition connected to the Team USA environment, the Olympic conversation won't disappear. It will restart. But the Olympic debate is only one reason the spotlight around Clark keeps growing. The bigger story might actually be what she's already done to the league itself, because the attention surrounding Clark has changed something much larger than a single roster decision. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, the WNBA conversation followed a familiar rhythm. Games were competitive, stars were respected, but the national spotlight came and went. Then Clark entered the league, and suddenly the attention stayed. Television ratings climbed, arena attendance increased, national sports shows started discussing the league more regularly. The change didn't happen because the sport was suddenly different. It happened because attention moved. Clark brought a level of visibility that forced people to pay attention. Casual fans tuned in, debates became louder, highlights traveled faster across social media. And once that level of attention arrives, expectations change. Every performance is analyzed, every storyline grows larger, every debate spreads further than before. For the league, this attention creates both opportunity and pressure. Because when one player becomes the center of the conversation, every moment involving that player carries extra weight. Clark didn't create the spotlight alone, but she accelerated it. And now the league is adjusting to a reality where one player can influence the entire basketball conversation. But while the attention surrounding Clark continues to grow, the most interesting battle might still be happening on the court, because defenses still look unsure about how to stop her, and that might be the biggest reason the upcoming game could change everything. Right now, the story surrounding Caitlin Clark feels like it's building towards something. The debates are active, the narratives are shifting, and both supporters and critics believe the next performance will prove their point. Moments like this are rare in sports. because occasionally a player arrives who forces the entire basketball world to reconsider its assumptions. Clark's shooting range has stretched defenses farther than most teams are comfortable defending. Her passing vision creates opportunities that appear before defenders even recognize the play, and the pace she plays with forces opponents to react instead of control the game. But now the conversation is moving toward a much larger stage. Soon Clark will step onto the court in an environment connected to the USA women's national basketball team. And when that game begins, the debates surrounding her will face their biggest test yet. If Clark dominates the pace and controls the game, the not ready narrative might collapse overnight. If she struggles, critics will say the skepticism was justified. Either way, the conversation will change, because once the ball tips and the lights come on, arguments disappear. Only basketball remains. And if you're still watching right now, drop March 11th in the comments.
So there's a lot of newness. I think the thing that isn't new is what USA Basketball is, what the goals are, what we want to accomplish, and like how we go about doing that.
It's not about like being young, age, or whatever. It's about the opportunity to be here, to represent, and understand that you're a part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, Kyle! Here I'm posting. How we doing down here? We guarded? Red on 3, 1, 2, 3. Red!
Welcome to the new quad. I'm really excited to be here. I hope you are too.
When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the floor for her Team USA debut, something shifted. Not just on the scoreboard, in the room. For months, the conversation was simple. She didn't belong. She wasn't ready. The Olympic snub proved it. The old guard had spoken.
Caitlin Clark didn't make the cut for the 12-player Team USA roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics. That is according to Selection Committee Chair Jen Rosati, who explained the decision came down to basketball criteria and not the fame and attention Clark would bring to the games this summer.
That's not what this conversation is about. This is about what I will personally label the idiocy of Team USA women's basketball. How dare you make this decision? It's stupid. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid. I want all the ladies on this squad to know every single one of y'all are deserving of it. Caitlin Clark does not deserve a spot ahead of any of the players on this roster, okay? If we're talking just basketball, you know we're not. You know we're not. Let's harken back to the Dream Team in 1992. Remember when Christian Laettner was on that squad? Forget the other pro players. Forget the pro players. Forget the pro players. That's a given. First time NBA players were allowed to participate. Don't put that damn screen up when I'm talking right now. I want to see Shanae and Andrea, okay? The point is this. Those rosters, right? Those players were on there. Do you know that Christian Laettner also was chosen ahead of Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning? You know why? He was a two-time national champion. He was a Wooden Award winner. And he was white. And he had his own cachet. He brought it to the table. He was a big-time collegiate player who was white and busting people's you-know-what. They couldn't miss.
But the moment her Team USA debut tipped off, that narrative started to crack. Because this wasn't hype. It was control. She didn't force shots. She didn't hunt highlights. She orchestrated. She spaced the floor. She drew defenders out to 30 feet and created space no one else on that roster can create. And suddenly, you could see it. The body language changed. Veterans who once looked hesitant now looked relieved. The offense flowed. The pace picked up. The crowd leaned forward. Her Team USA debut didn't just explode online. It exposed something. She wasn't the problem. She was the solution. Every pass she made felt intentional. Every defensive rotation was sharp. She wasn't playing like a rookie trying to prove something. She was playing like someone who already knew. And the reaction was instant. Social media lit up. Analysts who once questioned her fit suddenly pivoted. The same voices that said too soon were now saying this is different.
So it looked like the return of Caitlin Clark is over, man. She is headed to Team USA basketball, and we gonna jump right into this thing, man. So the Indiana Fever and many of basketball media people in the news that Caitlin Clark will be returning to the basketball court. Now, this should come as no surprise from anybody. for anybody, bro. The 12-player roster has been released, and I'm excited because you know what that means? Basketball content is coming back, baby.
Because it was different. This wasn't WNBA politics. This was international basketball, and she looked comfortable. That's what made her Team USA debut explode. Comfort, control, confidence. The snub narrative collapsed in real time. You could see it in the huddle. Teammates leaned toward her. Coaches trusted her with the ball in pressure moments. Trust isn't given, it's earned, and she earned it. The bigger story isn't that she played well, it's that the entire tone around her shifted. From controversial to essential, from polarizing to foundational. Her Team USA debut didn't just silence critics, it forced the league to rethink everything. And that's why this moment matters. Because once you prove you belong on the biggest stage, there's no going back. The narrative has changed, and it exploded in front of everyone.
Everybody wants to see star players. She's a connector. She brings people together.
Clark firing and hitting. Clark behind the back. It goes right to the window. Wow.
She's hard to defend all the time, like not at times.
Clark launching and hitting. Clark splashing home a three. Clark the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown Fever. Clark fires. You bet.
Steps back with the three.
Caitlin Clark's team. USA debut didn't just explode, it divided the room. Because the second she stepped onto that court, the same tension that followed her into the WNBA followed her here. Us versus them. You could feel it before tip-off. This wasn't just about basketball. It was about hierarchy. For years, Team USA had a pecking order. Veterans first, system first, respect earned slowly.
But you're still complaining about the max salary being $250,000. You're still complaining about the absence of eyeballs. You're still complaining about the lack of headlines and notoriety and pub and cachet. You're complaining about all of these things. And the one person who has proven they can alleviate that concern, that could ultimately serve to benefit the better whole, now we want to sit up there and get all altruistic and stuff and talking about, hey, it's about the sanctity of the game and the level of competition. You're going to win by 30 without her, just like you'd win by 30 with her. It don't make a difference. You make the call because of the betterment of the whole in the end. That is not compromising your integrity. That is business, and y'all are going to find that out.
But Clark doesn't move slowly. The moment she started stretching the defense past half court, the entire structure bent. Spacing widened, transitions sped up. The offense felt modern, and that's when the reaction exploded. Fans online weren't just celebrating her plays, they were asking questions. Why wasn't she here sooner? Why did it take this long? Why did the narrative feel forced? That's where the controversy lives. Because her Team USA debut didn't expose weakness in her game. It exposed hesitation in leadership. And some people don't like that.
So the WNBA says they want to get paid more. They're saying this year they're going to make $1 billion. That's what they're saying, okay? For the first time ever. Now that Caitlin Clark is hurt for 2 weeks, did you see ticket prices? Insane. Let me read you the ticket prices. After Caitlin Clark's been hurt for 2 weeks. All right? So let's go through this. Caitlin Clark absence is having an immediate impact beyond the court. According to data shared by Yahoo Sports via TickPick, prices for 2 specific Indiana Fever away games against the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics dropped sharply after Clark was sidelined. Before the injury, the lowest ticket available for Fever's matchup in Chicago was $86. For the game in Washington, fans needed at least $41 to get in. After the news of Clark's absence, those get-in prices fell to $25 from $86 and $14 from $41. What the hell is going on with WNBA that they cannot handle all this attention that they're getting, as well as the hate and anger towards Caitlin Clark?
You could see it in post-game interviews. Careful language, measured praise. No one wanted to admit what everyone saw. The game changed when she entered, and that creates friction. Because when a rookie instantly elevates a system, it challenges the old guard. It suggests the future is already here, and not everyone is ready for that. Her Team USA debut exploded not because she scored 30, but because she fit seamlessly. Too seamlessly. The ball found her. The offense responded to her gravity. And suddenly, the debate wasn't, can she handle this level? It became, why was she held back? That question is uncomfortable for coaches, for decision makers, for veterans protecting legacy. But you can't hide from momentum. And momentum is loud. Her debut didn't whisper, it exploded. And the ripple effects are just starting.
Quite some time to see Caitlin Clark play basketball. Not only take shots and shoot around, but actually go up against something that looks like competition in an actual, I don't know, competitive environment. Not just shoot off a rack, not go 1v air, actually play some basketball. And we finally have it. We've waited long enough.
This wasn't just a debut, it was a leverage moment. Caitlin Clark's Team USA debut exploded, but not just because of performance, because of power. For months, the narrative positioned her as dependent on the WNBA machine, league marketing, broadcast push, rookie storyline. But when she stepped onto Team USA's floor, that frame disappeared. She didn't need the league. The league needed her gravity. International audiences tuned in. Engagement spiked. Highlights trended. That's not coincidence. That's influence. Her Team USA debut showed something executives cannot ignore.
Been waiting a long time for this, haven't we?
Oh, got you. I see.
Uh-oh. We got the pull-up. Skirt. Step back. Oh, there it is. A signature move. USA basketball, they already know. That's Caitlin Clark's signature move.
She travels. Her appeal crosses uniforms. And when a player proves that kind of portability, the power dynamic shifts. Because now negotiations change. Broadcast leverage changes. CBA conversations change. Owners see ratings. Sponsors see metrics. Players see opportunity. And once that ecosystem recognizes where growth is coming from, the math shifts. Her debut exploded online because it symbolized independence. She's not confined to one structure. She elevates any structure she touches. That's rare, and rare creates leverage. This wasn't about one game, it was about positioning. Because once you prove you can carry interest onto a global stage, you're not just a player, you're infrastructure, and infrastructure changes negotiations. That's why this moment matters long term. Her Team USA debut didn't just validate talent, it rebalanced influence. And that kind of shift doesn't quietly fade, it explodes.
We got the GOAT back. We got the GOAT back. Ah! The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, is back on the court. Ah, tears coming to my eyes, man. Tears coming to my eyes. I thought I'd never see the day. We thought we'd never see the day, but we are here. The GOAT is back dominating on the court at Team USA camp. What do you know?
Watch the bench, not the highlights, the bench. Caitlin Clark's Team USA debut exploded on social media, but the real story was in the reactions around her. When she pulled up from deep, heads snapped. When she threaded a pass through traffic, teammates clapped before the shot even fell.
Iowa CC look is back. Oh man, on the Team USA court, jump shot looking pretty. Oh, them Kobe's is fire too. Them Kobe's is fire. Yeah. It's gonna be a show. Look at everybody in the background watching. They know who to watch. They know the players in practice know who they came to see. They want to see the CC show. They ain't watching nobody else shoot like this. It's the CC show, man.
That's respect. And respect in that locker room isn't automatic. It's earned. Early in the game, you could sense evaluation, veterans observing, testing pace, testing decision-making. But as possessions stacked up, the tone shifted. Communication flowed toward her. Off-ball movement adjusted to her rhythm. That's chemistry forming in real time. And when chemistry forms that quickly, it sends a message. She belongs. The post-game body language told the same story. Smiles, shoulder taps, direct eye contact during interviews. No awkward distance, no coldness, just acknowledgement. Her Team USA debut exploded because it passed the internal test. The players saw it. The coaches saw it, the system responded to it, and once that locker room embraces you, the narrative changes. Because internal validation travels faster than media narratives. It spreads inside the culture, and culture is everything. This wasn't hype, it was acceptance. And acceptance at that level is rare. That's why this moment matters. It wasn't just fans celebrating, it was teammates recognizing impact. Her debut didn't just explode online, it resonated inside the room. And that's harder to earn. They left her off. That was the headline. Too inexperienced, too soon, not ready. But Caitlin Clark's Team USA debut exploded in a way that reframed that entire conversation. Because the second she stepped on the floor, it didn't look rushed. It looked overdue. The pace felt natural. The spacing improved instantly. And the composure stood out. This wasn't revenge energy. It was controlled response. And controlled response is more dangerous than anger. Every possession felt like quiet proof. No theatrics, no gestures, just execution. That's how redemption works at the highest level. It doesn't scream, it demonstrates. Her Team USA debut exploded because it rewrote the Olympic narrative without saying a word. No press conference needed, no quotes required. The film told the story. You could feel the shift. Commentators softened their tone. Fans who doubted adjusted language. Because once performance replaces theory, debates fade. The snub no longer feels like a statement of limitation. It feels like a miscalculation. And miscalculations at that level linger. This wasn't just about one game. It was about perception. She didn't chase validation, she embodied it. And when that happens, momentum compounds. Her debut didn't just explode in numbers. It exploded in meaning. Because redemption arcs resonate deeper than hype. They feel earned. And this one feels like it's just beginning.